games left in the Bucks. They sit 5th in the Eastern Conference, 3 games back from the Indiana Pacers. They're back in action tomorrow, taking on the Miami Heat. Tip time set for 7 p.m.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other. Right.
That's going to make me mad.
Well, no, he targeted some top guys and got them.
Who are the targets that he got? Who are the top guys?
And Dobbs.
Hobbs.
Obviously, with Goody's track record, Hobbs/Dobbs.
Wait, are you going to call him Nate Dobbs on occasion? Is that what you're preparing us for? The
I'm
possibility
having a
of
hard time remembering between
Hobbs and Dobbs?
Hobbs and Banks sounds like it should be a movie. Starsky and Hutch. That's what it reminds me of.
How about Hobbs and Shaw?
Yeah, that too. That's probably where I'm getting it from.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Molly Brown.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Guys, if the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I do have the power. You know who else also has the power? Giannis. What's his last name, Matt? Giannis.
I'm never going to say it.
Just go for it.
I'm never going to say it again.
Come on.
No.
We bullied
It's
you.
Giannis.
You are a Wisconsin sports radio host. You work for ESPN Madison, and you can't even say Giannis Antetokounmpo's last name.
Giannis.
Giannis, that's a good point.
See, we've got it on record of me saying it that way, and I'd hate to say it wrong.
That is terrible. Well, Giannis does have the power because he became the first player in NBA history last night to record 35 points, 20 assists, and 15 rebounds against the Philadelphia 76ers. That's a lot of numbers, Matt.
That is. How many assists did you say it? 20?
20.
And then
Take that for data.
17 rebounds?
15 rebounds. 35 points, 20 assists, and 15 rebounds.
No, that was
correction.
the threshold. No one had ever gotten to that level. I think he had 17.
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
You know what? This headline got me. Sorry, guys.
The headline's sneaky.
Should we just restart the show because I just messed that up? 35 points, 20 assists, and 17 rebounds.
Yeah.
Because you know what, Matt? Stats, they are.
Importantness. They have importantness.
Yes, they do, especially for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis, that's a good point.
So on the way home from a family dinner last night, I was at the in-laws with the wife and everyone else. I had heard this stat and was pretty blown away by it. Just got through listening to the rest of the Brewers baseball game.
Yep.
And yes, I don't know. Yeah, it was just a wild stat. To me, I feel like Giannis has done everything he could possibly do here. Like, the fact that he won one championship, I think, is pretty incredible. And it's weird. I don't think he owes the city of Milwaukee anymore. Like, he's obviously trying. It's not like he's putting up bad numbers, clearly. It's wild to think how fortunate the Bucks got with this guy from Greece and where he's been able to go with, like, what was he, a 12th pick, Ryan? 14th pick?
I believe he was the 14th or 15th overall pick.
Yeah, like, where do you find... Amazing the Bucks were able to find him in the draft. Unbelievable.
Yeah, totally. So do you think Wisconsin sports fans don't appreciate him?
No, I think they really do appreciate him. I think they appreciate him a little bit more than a sport where there's higher expectations for your team. Like, nobody really, at least for me, prior to the Bucks winning, they didn't really have any expectations, I felt like. Well, I guess prior to getting Giannis, there's some good teams, but, like, you never had a superstar. Yeah, Ray Allen, which is nice, and he was really good.
Yep.
But, like, I feel like you didn't ever have, at least in my lifetime, a superstar to, like, that you could count on to take your team over the top. And when you just get one championship, you're like pretty pleased with that. When I grew up, I was told about the 2 Super Bowls the Packers have. It was the first 2, which was very important that it was the first 2 real Super Bowls, and then all the championships before that. Like, I got those stats from my parents. But then when I was 9 years old, or not 7 years old, the Packers win a Super Bowl with Brett Favre. And now I just feel like this expectation we have for Packer quarterbacks, Packer players, is so high because we've had like 2 in a row. And we've had like Bart Starr arguably was that kind of quarterback to the rest of his league. You know what I mean? Like he had that much, he was that good compared to his peers. And I just feel like we talk about the Packers not doing enough with those guys, but I don't think we're going to say that about Giannis.
See, so I disagree.
You do?
Because for me, I feel like, I personally, and I've been thinking this probably for the last 2 years, that I just feel like Giannis's time in Milwaukee is coming to a close. I mean, I've told you guys, I went to Thanalysis last weekend at Potawatomi. Like, it was awesome. It was so cool to see the love that not only Thanasis, but that Giannis has for this, like, for this team, for the city, for its people, everything. Like, he is ride or die Milwaukee. I guess I can't say ride or die because I'm about to say that he's going to leave Milwaukee.
Yeah,
but, like, for his time here, like, he loves Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee is such a special place for him. Like, I think Milwaukee really took him in. You know, you've heard the stories about the lady giving him a ride when he didn't have a winter coat in his first winter when he came here from Greece. Like, and he was walking to the Bucks practice facilities. Like, there's all those stories. But I just personally feel like his time in Milwaukee is coming to a close. I think he wants to win championships. He's been very upfront. He's been very honest about that. And I just don't know if this organization is there. I mean, as much as we want to believe it, we want to believe that they're going to go to the playoffs this year. They're somewhat decently healthy. They have Giannis healthy. Who knows? Dame might be back sooner than we can imagine, like sooner than we initially thought he was going to be. But I don't know if any of us can sit here realistically and say that they are a championship winning team, right? Like this season especially. So I just personally feel like his time here is coming to a close, and that just makes me think, okay, so you think about, like you said, Brett Favre. You think about Aaron Rodgers. What do people always say about them? There's 2 championships in the last 30 years between the 2 of them.
Right.
Like, and that's it.
And that's essentially, everyone
letdown.
says that's a failure on the Packers front office.
And but also I think people, me included, tend to blame that on those specific people, right? Like I blame, especially like Aaron Rodgers,
you blame
right?
Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers more than...
I don't know if I can speak too much on Brett Favre because I feel like I only know
young for that.
Yeah, like to me, Aaron Rodgers was basically the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers most of my life. Like that is what I remember. I remember like them winning a Super Bowl. I remember all that. Obviously, I remember like bits and pieces of Brett Favre, but it just, like, to me, I always say Aaron Rodgers could never get past the NFC Championship. How many years did we get to the NFC Championship or close to, and we couldn't get past it? That is where I always go. And I'm personally blaming it on Aaron Rodgers. Are there other issues? Of course there is. Of course there's other.
Blame Aaron.
But primarily him. Because if you're going to be the king of the team, you're also going to take the most heat. You're going to get the most glory, and you're going to take the most heat. Okay. And to me, that's where I feel like with Giannis, too.
You do?
Yes. And I mean, granted, the last couple of years he has been hurt.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't blame everything on that. And you look at the year that they did win the finals, he came back from being hurt, and he was our saving grace, quite frankly. So, but I also think, okay, you can talk about how we have one of the superstars in the NBA on our team's roster, on the Milwaukee Bucks, but yet he only won 1 championship when he's in Milwaukee, if he leaves.
I mean,
that's a letdown, isn't it?
No, because I look at it. I have different like measures of success for every team in Wisconsin.
Different standards.
Yeah, I have a different standard for the Packers, I think, than I do for the Bucks.
But the Milwaukee Bucks, look at everything that they've done. Like, their ownership came in and they got Dame Lillard. They made massive moves in order to make this a championship-winning team, and they can't get it done.
Yeah, so I'm not going to blame Giannis for that. That's what I mean. Like, I guess if anything, I can look at the front office in that situation. They just didn't get it right. I like that they tried. The Packers, on the other hand, They don't seem like they kind of go all in ever. The Bucks did.
We're going to win
And I
the six.
appreciate that. Like, it's not always going to work out. If every team that goes all in got a championship, you'd have, like, multiple winners every year.
So you don't think that one championship is a knock on his legacy?
He'll get more. Well, I mean, there's a good chance he could go somewhere else and get more.
Okay, his legacy as a
Buck?
Yeah.
No. Just because there's only 2 championships for the Bucks.
Ryan, where do you stand on this? Like, is it a letdown if he only gets one?
Not particularly, just because I think the fact that he got one at all, when you look at especially the era of the NBA that he was playing in, I mean, for a lot of his career with the Bucks, he was playing in the era of the dominant Warriors teams, and then LeBron was in the Eastern Conference. I mean, the fact that they ever got to and won a finals, to me as a Bucks fan, as I think most Wisconsin sports fans, like, it's completely gravy. Like, anything more than here is just like, it's just cherries on top.
Really?
Now, if you're arguing like putting up his legacy towards like Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre or maybe even Bart Starr of like who's the greatest, most like all-time iconic Wisconsin athlete, then you could say, well, if he gets another championship, then he could probably vault those guys. But with one championship versus one championship for Favre and Rodgers with the Packers in the NFL, those will always be higher for the football. But I think that Giannis, if he gets another championship, could be on that all-time top pedestal, the gold medal, one might say, Matt Hamilton, of Wisconsin sport athletes. But I don't know. It's to me, it's like his legacy as a Wisconsin icon and sports icon is set to me. I don't think he needs to do anything more, and anything more is just like, I mean, assuming he doesn't have some sort of horrible off-the-field Aaron Rodgers type heel turn, I think he's totally set, and that's part of it too. Like who he is as a guy, like he is the most wholesome, just awe-inspiring athlete off the court that you could ever ask for. Which I think that's a big part of it too.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with his dominance in his sport.
No, of course not. But when you're talking about like what he means to us as Wisconsin sports fans, it means something.
Okay, so let's what?
I was just going to say, what I think is funny too is, so you're saying you kind of blame them all equally for only having one champion. Is that correct? I don't want to like put words in your mouth.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
And me, I'm saying I judge them differently, right? Interestingly enough, Rodgers and Favre are part of, they're one of 22 guys that are competing, whether it's the offense or the defense at any given time, right? They control one of 11 guys on offense and don't have any control on defense.
Okay.
Giannis is one of 5. He has the most influence over the outcome of a game, more so than the quarterback, most likely.
Okay.
He should be held to a higher standard.
So are you changing your mind right
Well,
now?
no, I don't feel that way, but I think logically, when you break it down, like I can understand. I could see both sides, essentially. I still like going on vibes because that's kind of my thing. I'm just so thrilled that the Bucks were able to get one. Like Giannis can no longer do any wrong. He's good. I don't have any more expectation for him. With the other guys, obviously I still do. But when you look at it, Giannis has way more control over their situation, over his success when you play in the NBA. There's only 5 guys on the court at a given time. And Giannis is playing most of those minutes, so he has a lot of control on how it goes down.
Does he have control if Chris Middleton tears his meniscus in the playoffs?
Well, no,
in the second round
obviously
against
not.
the Celtics?
See, that's the thing too. Yes.
Obviously not, but
he's been a little more snake bitten when it comes to postseason bad luck than I think the Packers were with Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre.
I don't know enough about the Brett Favre runs to argue it.
I know that Aaron Rodgers
won.
I know that Rodgers threw 2 picks in that NFC Championship game against the Seahawks. And I know that he threw a lot of picks against the Buccaneers in that NFC Championship game. And he didn't do diddly squad when the whole team fell flat against the 49ers. So, I mean, you can say that, yeah, Giannis has held to a bigger standard and he has more control over things. But
Well, I'm saying, based on numbers of the amount of players on the field and who can control the game, you should hold Giannis to a higher standard.
On paper and theoretically, but when we look at the history of what they've done in their playoff performances,
100%.
I don't know if there's a single playoffs where Giannis was healthy where you can say he didn't do everything possible to help get them over the top.
Totally agree. And that's kind of why I'm saying I'm rating this off feels. That's why I feel that way, because it looks like Giannis is all out. He's going for it. We've seen Brett Favre stumble in the playoffs and throw an interception. We've seen Aaron Rodgers not be the Aaron Rodgers from the regular season in the playoffs.
Yep.
Giannis has always been just Giannis.
Giannis, that's campo.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we? I don't know how to respond to that, because I'm like trying to think through all of their different playoff history, right? Like, so do we ask the question? I know initially we kind of wanted to say
Dominant.
who is the most dominant player in Wisconsin sports, but do we say who is the most successful player in Wisconsin sports? Because I feel like that's kind of where this
interesting.
conversation has gone. It's just comparing success. So who is the most successful athlete in Wisconsin sports? Favre, Rodgers, or Giannis? I think that's our
Just
question.
those three?
Or
think
me.
so.
Or yeah, well, we should put Matt Hamilton. I mean, how many gold medalists?
No,
are
you're
in
gonna
the
get
state of
literally
Wisconsin?
one
the
vote from yourself.
No, I'd skew the vote. You're
Oh,
right.
really?
You're right. I would take some away from some really deserving athletes.
We got the Matt Hamilton zealots out there who
Yeah,
would all just
maybe.
bandwagon onto the citing
If you
unlimited poll
include
question.
me in the poll, I'm going to pander for it, and we're going to make it unfair. Let's just stick to those three.
844-770-3776.
Can I reserve the right to put in other option in case anyone
Okay.
else wants to chime
Go
in?
for
with
it.
who
What's
they
the other
should?
option? Oh, like just other.
Just other, like who else would you put on there?
Okay, yeah. Let's do that. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. That is your way into the show. List is more. Our Citing Unlimited poll question for today is, who is the most successful athlete in Wisconsin sports? Favre, Rodgers, Giannis, or other? Fill in the blank. So far, or well, not so far because we haven't posted it yet. That's not what I meant. But we are
I'm
getting
leading because I voted for me and other.
we are getting people to chime in already.
Take that for data.
Rip and Rona says, in my opinion, Giannis is one, and the Packers are my favorite Wisconsin sports team. He's the best. Robin Madison says LeBron only won one in Cleveland.
He was responding to the question or the point I
Yeah.
brought up about the Eastern Conference. Yeah, he only won one, but he was going to the finals every year.
I actually think he texted this in before you even started talking. So he texted it in right away from like mine and Matt's back and forth.
Oh, I think I see what
Yep.
he's saying. Like LeBron only won, yeah.
Exactly. Daniel Landscaper says this team won't win a championship unless we catch lightning in a bottle, because the Packers organization will always just do enough to stay relevant and draft young and not get stars to help. It's disappointing. At least the Bucks have tried to bring talent in. The Packers haven't even tried. People think this is still Daniel Landscaper. He says people think he is the greatest GM. What has he really done to help this team get over the top? So, yes.
Nothing to get us over the top.
Yeah.
Nothing to get us to the top.
I mean,
To the top.
what do you consider the top?
We're not even the top in our division. Top would be at least top of the conference.
I mean, we've gotten there a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah. 844-770-3776. Who is the most successful player in Wisconsin sports? Favre, Rodgers, Giannis, or other? What say you? This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Want to tell you about my favorite drink. I got it right here. I have a little teeny tiny bit. You know, like that last drink of a drink when you're like, oh, I'm just waiting to drink it, you know? Yeah. That's me with my Zoa right now. I absolutely love my Zoa. You guys know that I have a toddler and I have 4-month-old twins, so I need all the energy that I can get. Zoa gives me the perfect boost without that crash that comes with other energy drinks. And the best part about it is that it's packed with natural ingredients like caffeine from green coffee and green tea. Plus, the flavors are amazing. Today, I'm drinking the frosted grape. Love this flavor. And I feel so good knowing that it's all about clean energy. Pick up some Zoa for yourself. Head over to zoaenergy.com to learn more. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This station has conducted a test of the emergency alert system.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With the family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
They did it again for the 5th time. They did it again. For the 5th time, Siding Unlimited, the 30-year-old Wisconsin family-owned company, is the Pella Window and Door Company's Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year in the whole USA. Siding Unlimited is here in Madison with a dynamic outside-in showroom. See Siding Unlimited's window, door, roofing, deck, and other great outside stuff inside at 2018 South Stoughton Road, south of Buckeye. See Siding Unlimited's frequent Instagram posts or go to sidingunlimited.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Look, we all know that as we age, our bodies change, but Carbon World Health can help. They have a process of testosterone replacement therapy that includes a diagnostic exam and blood tests to assess your hormone levels to make sure that they are optimal for you, not optimal for your age. Carbon World Health can help you increase your energy, focus, and overall health with their approach to hormone therapy. It's all about quality of life for you. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Join me, Hunter Vaughn, and the Dean Dennis Summerow this Saturday at 9 a.m. as we look back at the high school basketball season that was. Plus, we'll be joined by Chris Davis Jr. of Sun Prairie East. He was the leading scorer in the state the last 2 seasons, and he finished 5th on the state's all-time scoring list. Again, join me and the Dean this Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe in making the most of what you love, making sure your money is as well spent as your time. So as you start your spring projects, we have the value you need to make them your own. Right now, Rewards members get a free $10 gift card with an $80 Estate fertilizer purchase, $5 off 3-pound bags of Estate grass seed, just $9.99. Plus, new colors of men's and women's Carhartt pocket tees, 2 for $30. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
She didn't beg, or not enough. She didn't stay when things got tough. I told a lie, she got mad. She wasn't there when things got bad. I never ever saw the northern lights. I never really heard of cluster flies.
It is a Fish Friday here on Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light, and we are asking you, who is the most successful athlete in Wisconsin sports? Favre, Rogers, Giannis, or other? Fill in the blank. We are getting a couple texts in on the Carbless Talking text line, 844-770-3776. Unnamed in the 414 says, can the best player be a Badger player in college and go out of state and be successful? If so, they think it's, who do you guys think?
And go out of state and be successful?
Yep.
Saying in the pros, right?
Yes.
Not like a transfer?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess in today's climate, we have no idea. But no, a player that played in college at in Wisconsin, and then went to an out-of-state professional team. Take a guess on who they said.
Joe Thomas?
Good guess.
I I mean, Chris Borland was pretty good, but he only played a year.
Why would Chris?
That's such a random name.
Not that Chris Borland wasn't good, but it was 1 year for him.
Yeah, but he was
good.
One of the best rookies that year. Like he win Defensive Player of the Year?
Defensive Rookie, maybe he was high in the voting.
The fact that he was, but you're right. It was 1 year.
He was with the 49ers, right?
I'm trying to think who else jumps out.
T.J. Watt would be another answer.
Leo Chanel.
Yep, Leo Chanel.
Yeah, but he's won a couple Super Bowls.
He's a big name. I feel like you always hear his name when you're watching a Kansas City Chiefs
But
game.
you're saying a player who's
James
been the
White?
You're saying a player who's been the most successful elsewhere. Are we talking about success, team success, or personal?
This person just said, and again, it's unnamed in the 414, said, can the best player be a Badger player in college and go out of state and be successful? If so, I think it's blank. I'm going to tell you who it is, but I'm just letting you guys guess.
Who's your final answer?
Final answer, Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Who is it?
Rose Lavelle. I knew you guys weren't going to get it, but she is pretty badass.
That's a good one.
It is good.
That's a good one.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Donnie in DeForest says Robin Yount. We didn't have any.
Well, we had mentioned Robin Yount, but Ryan poo-pooed it, so y'all know.
Well, Matt Hamilton, you're the one wearing the authentic
you're a
vintage Brewers
fan.
jersey. Why don't you tell us about the greatness of Robin Yount?
I mean, I met him one time.
Oh, really?
That was pretty great.
Where did you meet Robin Yount?
At a Brewer game.
Like, was it a scheduled meeting? Was it you just ran into him in the crowd?
I was invited by our friends at Leinekugels to a box, and he was in the box next door.
And how did you interact with him? Did you even
someone
know
had
it
to
was
point
him?
him out, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
This guy.
I had to point him out.
Yeah. Right. I'm just a casual fan, man. I just happen to have some jerseys.
I
I'm a nut.
I think the best player, in Wisconsin athletic.
You definitely poo-pooed it, though, when I suggested it.
Well, because if you're comparing him to Favre, Rodgers, or Giannis, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly somebody jumped in and was like, Robin Yount. Hey, same conversation.
With their conversation, but we were talking about the poll question.
You're right.
We're trying to narrow down a Final Four.
You're right. And Robin Yount's not winning that one.
He hasn't won a championship, so no, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
So no Brewer could make this.
Pretty much, honestly. That's the problem.
The name Christian Yelich came to my head. Obviously, he's not the greatest, but I don't know. Do you say Ryan Braun was pretty freaking good?
Yeah.
He won MVP.
Prince Fielder was damn good,
Fielder.
too.
Yep.
During his time.
There's a lot of them, but they didn't win championships, so I don't know if they're on the same level as these three that we mentioned, Favre, Rodgers, and Giannis.
Right. No, I agree with you.
Dame Lillard is pretty great. He's pretty awesome.
Nah, not for Wisconsin. Are we talking about what they've done for Wisconsin sports?
I mean, no, I'm saying he's a great player. He's had incredible games. He scored a ton of points in a lot of games.
Well, that's funny because there's another name who I threw up before the show. You guys kind of poo-pooed.
Oh, yeah? Let's hear that name. Let's see if
player.
we have people chiming in with different names. I want to see if anybody's picked the same one as you.
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, it's two names. Thank you very much, actually.
Two?
Lou Alcindor / Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
Because I think when you're talking about greatest Wisconsin athletes, he has as many championships as the other three guys we're talking about.
It's true.
I believe he had as many MVPs with the Bucks too. I'd have to double check exactly how many MVPs he had, but I believe he and Giannis were pretty close.
Okay.
It took until, was it earlier this year that Giannis passed him for all-time points in franchise history?
Potentially.
Yeah, I mean, don't sleep on what Kareem did with the Bucks back in the 70s.
But see, it's so hard for me to relate to that because I even said I barely got to see Brett Favre's career, and he was within the last 20-some years.
Have you watched highlights from basketball back then? It was just
the
so
only
different.
highlights I've ever seen of Kareem are in a Lakers jersey. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
See, so that's your issue right there.
It still doesn't matter. You can still watch it though. It's times be changing.
Yeah, no, it definitely feels like that. You could tell the film back then just wasn't as fast. Like the guys are moving so slow, where you're like the camera is just slow, right? Like that's not. People didn't move.
A little
that
bit of
slow.
column A, a little bit of column B.
Maybe.
I
yeah.
really think.
You're right. You were around back then, weren't you, Matt? You're like 70.
Yeah, I mean, I just started smoking cigarettes. I'm a nut. In the 70s, obviously.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was a different time.
Daniel Landscaper chimes in and says Jonathan Taylor. He was saying the same one that you had mentioned. TJ from the road, Ron Dane. Dave in Deerfield, this is a good one, and we didn't even think about this one. Mark Johnson, without a doubt, best player on the USA Olympic team that beat the Soviets in 1980 and winning 8 NCAA championships in college hockey.
Bucky Bob Billion.
That's pretty good.
If we're including coaching as an option too, coaching accolades.
Well, who else was a player and a coach in Wisconsin?
Doc Rivers, actually. Just last
Fair.
night became the 7th winningest coach in NBA history. I mean, he played for the Marquette Golden Eagles back in the day. I don't think they were the Golden Eagles back then, but he played for Marquette. I don't know how. He has his banner hung in the Pfizer Forum as a Marquette basketball player.
True.
That's an interesting
Well, see,
one.
but okay, so now going back to the Roosevelt one, like if we say a player that played in Wisconsin and then played a professional, D. Wade?
Dwayne Wade?
Like, he was at Marquette and then he is one of the best players in NBA history?
I think if we're talking about most successful Wisconsin sports athletes, we'd want to narrow it down to their achievements while in Wisconsin.
Fair.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it.
I think so, too.
Because then it could really get off the rails. I mean, Stephen P. actually literally just tweeted at Jim, Matt, and Molly, Dwayne Wade, question mark.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
You know who could definitely weigh in on some of these options?
Who's that?
He's an old guy. Really nice, knows a lot about sports, a lot more than me at least. And we're going to have him on next.
Judgmental Jim.
Oh, wrong guy.
Wrong guy.
My bad.
I didn't, yeah, okay.
I was just going for the Jim. I was going for the low-hanging fruit.
It was Jim.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought you were like going to say. I was like, yeah, Jim would be good at this, wouldn't he?
Judgmental Jim.
No, I think Jim would be good at this, but we got someone else who can help us.
Yes, we do have Jason Wilde coming up. Daniel Landscaper chimes in, Sam Oakey. Okay. And also he says you should say what player had the best season who only played 1 year in Wisconsin. That's a good poll question. You could argue Russell Wilson had the most 1 year impact. We did bring up his name when we were talking about this before. But.
And then we said it was only 1 year.
Talking about 1 year impacts, yeah, that's up there. John Tonje's on that list then too, in my opinion.
Oh my God! Now we're getting way too far. We're getting way too far. We need to peel it back in. 844-770-3776. That is the Cardinals Talking text line. Chime in with who you believe is the most successful player in Wisconsin sports. Favre, Rodgers, Giannis, and other are your options. Continue to chime in with your ideas of that. First, we do got to get to Jason Wilde next, but I do want to tell you about an event that we are having here at ESPN Wisconsin. You remember the moments from that magical March in 2015, Frank Kaminsky leading the charge for Bo Ryan and Wisconsin in a run to the championship. Relive it all with Made 'em Believe. On June 26th, join Frank, Sam Decker, Coach Bo Ryan for an intimate night at the Orpheum Theater in Madison to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. Tickets are now on sale at uwhoops2015.com. That's uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented.
You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN Madison.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
The
football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply and 4/30/2025.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Outside Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe. A special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Help me understand a little bit more clearly what you're asking.
Did you ever hear it called Don't Go Jason Waterfalls?
Is this Matt Hamilton?
I say that so helplessly, but like I feel like it.
Desperate sound in your voice.
Yeah. I am.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, and we are again delighted to be joined by Jason Wilde. Jason, how's it going?
Thrilled. I'm thrilled to be with you.
I think you have the best walk-up song of all of our guests.
Definitely. Thanks to you, Molly.
I think it was thanks to you because you're the one that brought it. You brought it to SNL, though. So thank you.
Well, I mean, Jason Sudeikis probably gets all the credit, but next in line is you for saying, what's up with that, when you were asking a question, which has now been, I think it's been removed from the walk-up music, so now it's just nobody knows that was the genesis of it. But you're the GOAT. There's
Thank
no
you.
doubt about it. I'm doing the dance right now in the passenger seat on our way to UW-Stevens Point for a track meet.
Nice. We are asking the question, I'm curious where you kind of land on this. Who do you think is the most successful athlete in Wisconsin sports? And our options are Favre, Rodgers, Giannis, or other, you can say.
I've got a few others, right? I mean, first of all, we've got a couple of players in Brewers history that are Baseball Hall of Famers, right? In Robin Yount and Paul Molitor. I know that's a little bit old school for folks, right? But their time still counts, as does, the history of, obviously, the Packers. If you think back to the 60s teams, and, Bart Starr won more championships than either of those two quarterbacks you've got on the list there, right? So I think it all depends on, do you do it by eras, like the Taylor Swift Eras Tour, or do you do it by just all time? Because, for another example, The Packers have had a lot of great receivers during my time covering the team, which I would say is a modern era, right? But it was before I started covering the team. But the last time I think Don Hudson talked to like the media in a Packers setting was like 1994 or 95. I think he passed away not that long after that, if I remember correctly. So I never got to talk to him. But here's a guy who caught 99 touchdown passes and obviously played in an even earlier Packers era in which he won championships and was a great player. And so I don't know if we're going to say modern era, the problem with Favre, Rodgers, and Giannis is that they all have one title, which is certainly more than Robin Yount has with the Brewers, or I think Paul Molitor won one with the Toronto Blue Jays. But if we're defining it based on team success, it's not a great race for anybody because there's not a lot of multi-championship teams. Like, if anybody, maybe Mark Johnson needs to be in this conversation instead. He obviously was crucial to the Miracle on Ice team.
Yep.
He's now coached 8 national championships for Badger women's hockey. So depends if you're willing to think outside the box, I guess.
Yeah, so I guess if you had to choose between the big three, Favre, Rodgers, and Giannis, where would you vote?
Well, I thought I fairly effectively circumvented the idea of voting for any of them.
Well,
I would just keep scrolling past your poll.
Get out of town.
Savage. No, so just the background of this, obviously with Giannis breaking the record in the NBA last night with his 35 points, 20 assists, and 17 rebounds, like it just got us thinking, like, is his legacy in the state of Wisconsin going to be similar to how people perceive Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, that they only have one title each of them only have one title in their nearly 30 years that we had them as quarterbacks here,
Yeah, and obviously you're right. That's an age-old question, right? Because there's part of you that wants to say you have these two generational talents, and Giannis obviously is one of those two. And if you only, and I'm doing air quotes as we're driving here, only have one title, that does feel to some degree disappointing, right? I get it. At the same time, the Detroit Lions only have 0 Super Bowl championships. The Milwaukee Brewers only have 0 World Series championships. In fact, I think the Brewers, their predecessor, the Braves, and the Lions in the pre-Super Bowl era, I think both their last championships were 1957, which not even I'm that old for that, right? So, I understand that, but on the flip side of it, I think it's important to remember that you'd like to have even more championships than you have to show for these 3 great players, but it's really hard. And there's been other great players who have played for other teams, and they didn't win any titles at all, right? I mean, I always think of Dan Marino because, A, he's fantastic in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and those Isotoner glove commercials, but he's one of the greatest of all time, and he got to the Super Bowl, in his second year? They lost to Joe Montana, and he never really even got close again. So, team success is such a critical part on how we view people. I mean, think about Mike McCarthy as a coach. If that 2014 team goes to the Super Bowl and wins it, or think of Mike Holmgren as a coach. They went to back-to-back Super Bowls. If they don't lose to the 12.5-point underdog Denver Broncos, Mike Holmgren walks into camp. And instead, he didn't get the 80% of the vote he needed in February, and he didn't make it, which I think is a travesty because he's one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. So it's just such a sticky situation to try and use the phrase of only one championship. But I understand why it gets used, especially as much as it does in the state of Wisconsin. I mean, Bucs fans had to wait 50 years in between titles.
So,
and the first one was before I was born, too.
Right. So, okay, your answer just got me thinking. As a reporter for the Packers.
That's what I'm here for.
As a reporter, what has been your favorite era of Packers football to cover?
Oh, boy. That's a really good question. because this will be year 30, so it's a nice even number. I feel like I didn't really know what I was doing the first couple of years. My first year was the year that they won the Super Bowl in New Orleans, and I was just so happy to be 24 years old and doing such a cool job. And I was talking to our friend Dennis Semmerout today on the phone. He gave me a call, and he was joking about how I used to cover the Packers during the week, and then he would see me covering a high school game on Tuesday night, which was the Packers' day off, so I'd be back in Madison. And it made me laugh because I always loved that part of my job. Like, I don't have enough bandwidth to be helping out on Prep Mania as much as I maybe might have when I was younger, but like that era was super fun, but I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. I think when Rodgers was at his greatest powers, 09, 10, 11 probably is it. But again, the challenging part of that question is I've covered, and it didn't hurt me as much as Packers fans, but I still have people when I bring up 4th and 26 or the season. I'm like, wait a minute. 4th and 26 was 22 years ago. Tausch has been retired now longer than he was in the league. The loss in Seattle, gut-wrenching though it may have been, like, they have had other chances since. They didn't get it done in those games either. So I feel like it's almost as if it's hard to pick the era for that question because there's so much disappointment for the team mixed into it.
Jason, we've got kind of an idea for later in this show, and I just thought I'd pick your brain on it early. Prioritizing the Packers' positions in this draft. And I want to know from you, other than quarterback, what would be the most surprising pick they could, like, position group they could pick with their first-round pick in the draft?
So you did not listen to our show this morning, right? You got other stuff going on.
I didn't.
Okay, good. Because the next answer, because we somehow fell onto the exact same topic, and I know that our topics aren't good enough to steal. So the fact that you're asking this question and the fact that I answered running back when Tausch asked it, and then he said, are you telling me that if who's the kid out of Boise State? Genty, You're telling me if he falls to 23, the Packers shouldn't draft him? And I said, well, no, they should, right? Because he's not going to fall to 23.
No.
A meteor is more likely to hit the draft area in Green Bay, which I hope doesn't happen because I got a lot of things I still want to accomplish. But he's special, right? They feel really good. So I would be shocked if they drafted a running back. They really, they like Emmanuel Wilson, and they think that Marshawn Lloyd, who obviously missed so much of the season, I think he played in one game, they think he's a really different type of running back. So if they went quarterback or running back, those are the two that would shock me. Beyond that, I think, and maybe this is the point you guys are planning on driving at later in the show, I don't think anything else would shock me. They need pass rush help. They need cornerback help. Maybe safety. Obviously, they've got not only X, but they've got those three guys they drafted last year, and Zane Anderson, who's a good player. So maybe safety would be the next one on my list of things that would surprise me. But pretty much everything else should be on the table.
I will say, Jason, Matt Hamilton might not be listening to your show enough to steal ideas from it, but I was, which is where we might have gotten the topic idea from. But you say there's no position that would be surprising at all. Like, would you not be surprised if they drafted an inside linebacker at this point in the first round? I mean, just given what the commitment they seem to have to Quay Walker and then Adrian Cooper, who obviously is going to be a star in the making. Like, you don't feel like that would be not a waste of a pick, but an overreach even by Goody standards?
Well, if let's put it this way. Let's wait and see what happens in the draft. And if they were to draft an inside linebacker, they do say that all three of those guys are interchangeable. I don't know if that's entirely accurate. I think that's for dumb people like me. It makes it easier to understand. But, like, it would tell you that they're not going to give a week later, they're probably not giving Quay Walker the fifth-year option, right? And then he would be in a free agent year, and he'd be in the same group as all these other guys that they've allowed to walk. And they'd be saying, well, we think Edgerrin Cooper is the real deal, and now we drafted this guy, and we're going to let Quay Walker play out the fourth year of his contract, then he's going to be a free agent. I don't think that's likely, to your point, Wooly, but that I still would put that as less surprising as quarterback, running back, safety. I would probably rank it fourth. But again, you got to remember that the draft is not just for who's going to help them now. You got to look at the bigger picture. That's why if they drafted an offensive lineman, I wouldn't be shocked at all, right? Like right now, if we're being honest, they have an overabundance of potential starters. That's why Rasheed Walker is going to have to defend his starting job that he's held for the last 32 games, basically, right? He had that one game where he didn't start because they gave Yash Nyman a try in 2023. But he's basically, since Bakhtiari went down, he's basically been the starter, and yet he's still going to be challenged by last year's first-round pick now, who they could have easily had challenge, Sean Ryan for the right guard job instead. But in theory, based on what they have Zach Tom, Sean Ryan, Elton Jenkins, Aaron Banks, Rasheed Walker, and Jordan Morgan, all as potential starting players. So they've got 6. So if they were to draft another offensive lineman, should we be surprised? Well, yes and no, because Walker, Tom, and Ryan are all going into the final years of their deals. Mm-hmm. So it would actually make sense if they drafted an offensive lineman saying, okay, we're going to let some or all of these guys, I don't think they're going to let Zach Tom go, but we're going to let all these guys walk next year. We'll have a totally different offensive line. So I think it's important to remember that it's not just for this year, it's for down the road. And I know you guys know that, but I think we all sometimes get caught up in, well, who do they get that's going to have an impact right away? Because the draft has become more about that than it used to be.
Yeah. I mean, getting Jordan Love, prime example. We're looking down the road. We're not trying to win next year. We're looking down the road. Hated that pick.
Right, because T. Higgins is the pick there, right? Or Patrick Queen, was it, that was also on the board then?
Yeah, like hindsight obviously is 2020. I didn't know anything about T. Higgins back then. Like I don't know who the right pick was. I just knew it wasn't Jordan Love if you wanted to win the next season.
No, you're right, and yet I would argue on the flip side that it was exactly the right pick, though. If he took, and again, the if is important here because I do think we prematurely crowned him. If he's as good as we think he's capable of being.
Right, yeah, like jury's still out on whether that was a A+ pick, a C, or an absolute F. So trending towards
I don't think
A.
it'll be an F.
Don't think it's
I don't
an
think
F
it'll
yet.
be an F. Might turn out to be a B+ or a B-.
Yeah,
and they never won a title with him, but they have a decent quarterback.
that is true.
Thanks, Jason. Enjoy the track meet, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Go Pointers.
All right, everybody. Well, they're not participating. Go Jaguars.
Go Jaguars.
Let's go. All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
That was Jason Wilde. You can hear him weekdays 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm so excited to get started on my journey at Carbon World Health. With their brand new location located in the Prairie Lake Shopping Center, their state-of-the-art facility will feature Carbon's innovative services, including Botox, hydrofacials, M-Sculpt, IV therapies, and so much more. I'm actually going there next week, guys. Stay tuned to see if I get some glowing skin.
Hydrofacial.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I need to get... We were talking about how much water we both drink and stuff. My face is dry. I need all of the work on my face. I'm not going to lie. I won't be getting any Botox anytime soon, but I need work on my face, okay?
All right, we'll need a before and after photo.
Yes, for sure. Stop in today to get started on your health and beauty journey and tell them that Molly from Jim, Matt, and Molly sent you. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah! Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Wisconsin men's basketball came a win shy of the Sweet 16, but Nolan Winter seeing positives from this season's ride. The sophomore forward on the memorable year during his appearance on the Jump Around Digital Show.
I had a blast, and I think most people would say this is one of the more enjoyable years that they've had playing basketball. Everyone kind of brought their own sense of humor and the sense of like just calmness, and we knew how to have fun in the locker room. To me, that was a big part.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Wisconsin men's basketball came a win shy of the Sweet 16, but Nolan Winter seeing positives from this season's ride. The sophomore forward on the memorable year during his appearance on the Jump Around Digital Show.
I had a blast, and I think most people would say this is one of the more enjoyable years that they've had playing basketball. Everyone kind of brought their own sense of humor and the sense of like just calmness, and we knew how to have fun in the locker room. To me, that was a big part of the season. And no, it was a blast. Every one of these dudes like brothers for life. That's what we always say.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella Windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at MetroKiaofMadison.com. That's MetroKiaofMadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck & Honey's. Make your Easter celebration one to remember. Spring into this holiday season at Buck & Honey's. Their award-winning restaurant offering seasonal dishes, handcrafted cocktails, and exceptional service. As you gather with loved ones this spring, don't forget to plan ahead for Mother's Day. Treat mom to an unforgettable meal in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Celebrate great food and great company this Easter and Mother's Day. Make your reservation today at their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb. We'll see you at Buck & Honey's.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
When I jumped off, I had a bucket full of thoughts.
biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network if you miss any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments like last night. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis and catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light, 844-770-3776. That is your way into the show. That is a Carbless Talk and text line. Less is more. We are asking you, and it's our Citing Unlimited poll question, who is the most dominant athlete in Wisconsin sports? Favre, Rodgers, or Giannis? We are getting a lot of other options sent in here, guys, on our actual poll. There's a couple. Ryan, you mentioned Steven weighing in with Dwayne Wade, ? Thomas on X says, Hank Aaron was pretty good. Kareem had 3 MVPs and a ring in 6 years. Which one might argue trumps Giannis's resume? Did you guys forget, or did you forget those guys, or are we limiting the conversation to those 3 deliberately? We're eliminating it to them deliberately. Adam?
Not because, mostly because we have no idea about them. Like, I don't watch highlights of Hammer and Hank or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Of Hammer and Hank?
I think he just... Did you just Google that?
Oh, Hammer
that was
and
his nickname?
Hank Aaron. Oh, I thought you said Hammer and Hank. I was like, who's Hammer?
Who's Hammer?
Hammer
and Hank.
Google to know that it was his nickname.
Honestly, Matt, the way that you kind of got a little flushed when he asked you about the nickname, I was like, did you just Google that?
No, it was more just like baffled that Ryan didn't know what I was talking about.
Gotcha.
He did.
I couldn't tell what you were saying. I knew what you were talking about.
But also, I think kind of like what Jason Wilde was saying, like those are the 3 guys in the modern era that I think most people can relate to, no matter kind of what age you are right now. So that's kind of where I land on that.
We'll take your word for it, though.
Yeah. Adam says women's Badger hockey, the whole team, and Ross chimes in with easy. It's Rodgers. Then we're getting a lot of texts on the Carbless Talk and text line. Let's see here. David Deerfield says, I was right. I knew Jason would say Johnson. This week has been great with you two and Rai. Thanks. You like being called Rai? How do you feel about that?
Dave, I appreciate you as a fan. I appreciate you're going to send me a gift card, apparently, because I went on a date and you didn't pay for it. Appreciate that.
Oh, did you tell him where to send it to? Because you need to send the office. I'll send it for you, so then you're not like begging.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
that's very nice.
I'll step it.
Very gracious of you,
hook
Molly.
you up, Rai.
Yes,
Yeah,
I will hook you up.
But I will say, Dave, no Rai-Rais. We're not doing Rai-Rai.
Is that what your mom calls you?
No, she never did.
I kind of like it.
No, my nickname as a kid.
I'm kind of into it too.
My nickname for my mom as a kid, we talked about it when we did the Jim, Matt, and Molly takeover of Wilde and Tausch a few weeks ago.
Meadow Creek Hunter?
Nope,
Prairie Creek Hunter?
That was not what my mother called me, the Prairie Creek Hunter. Thank you very much. That was my stage name that we auto-generated based off of the street we grew up on, as well as, I believe, it was the first pet
Your
we
first
had.
pet, yeah.
Yes, it was the first pet. No, my nickname as a child was Chippy from my mother.
Oh, yeah!
That's right.
Just people who I didn't really enjoy their company would like to call me Rai. And Rai just annoys me.
It'd be good in the open. You know what I mean? It's like, this is Jim, Matt, Molly.
And Rai.
And our guy, Rai, behind the glass.
Because
It's
it's such a pet name. I really don't like it.
I mean, you are behind glass. You're essentially a goldfish back there.
Okay.
Flick the grass?
Yeah.
Golden
not hit
retriever.
the glass.
Yeah. I'm probably more like a snake. If you try to hit the glass too much, I will
That's
hiss.
your terrarium.
That's
it's warm
true.
in there. He's got his
True. He has to shed layers.
It's a lot of.
You're a lizard.
The ground is covered in sand. Yeah, I'm a lizard person. You're right. Yeah. Not a real human.
Oh my God. Mike from Sauk Prairie says, I'm 57 years old and I've seen the good and the bad of Wisconsin sports. It's not even close. Being in the Favre era was so awesome and the best era of the Packers in the modern era. Unnamed in the 608, and I'm gonna butcher this name, but unnamed in the 608 says Eric Hayden. Speed skating and cycling?
We did have a conversation about him once when comparing Matt to other great Wisconsin Olympians. I remember this.
I'm assuming you lost to him. He was
Yeah. I was also competing in speed skating, which was my second passion after curling.
David Deerfield says, wait, did you just say speed skating was your second passion?
Yeah.
I can't imagine you wearing the little, the little tights.
Like the bodysuit? Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, you are very much like a person that loves to wear a costume. I feel like you probably have a full bodysuit at home. Can you wear it to the office?
I unfortunately don't. I don't have a full speed skating suit.
Helmet?
The whole clap skates. Yep, absolutely.
Clap skates?
I don't know.
They were legal back when I was racing Hayden, but they're not legal anymore.
I feel like that's something I can't Google, like on my laptop.
Clap skates?
Just sounds gross, doesn't it? Doesn't sound real.
Fair.
David Deerfield says Favre, Rodgers, and Giannis can't compete to Johnson. Ask Jason, which, like I said, he said he was right. Danny Landscaper says, I would say Favre because I don't like Aaron, the boy Madonna Rodgers.
Ayahuasca.
Remember, people were only talking about their accomplishments on the court. You know? Court or the field, but...
Oh, we're only talking about Aaron Rodgers on the basketball court? Well, then, I mean, this isn't really a conversation, guys.
Crushes.
Yeah.
Crushes
He couldn't
on the
even
basketball
finish
court.
a beer when he was on the court.
That's true, actually. David,
is
in
fair.
this case,
Bakhtiari.
Bakhtiari should be on this list.
Is he still... not Giannis. Is Rodgers still a minority owner of the Bucks?
He is, yes.
Interesting. He may come back. We'll see. Well, we have plenty more to get into. We've got Molly's game coming up, pole dancing, and yeah, just more Fish Friday. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, and we're presented by Coors Light. Let's hear from Jim as he tells us about the Brewers Company.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Looking to elevate your outdoor living space? The Brewers Company is Dane County's premier retailer of outdoor furniture. Exceptional craftsmanship, all the latest styles and colors, and made with durable materials that hold up to whatever Wisconsin weather brings. I know that because I have furniture from the Brewers Company. Many sets from deep city dining that can be customized and designed to your style. Find a time to swing by their furniture showroom in Middleton and let their trained staff help you bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Brewers Company, your outdoor living experts.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Well, the Milwaukee Brewers are riding their first 3-game winning streak of the season after last night's 1-0 win against the Reds at AmFam Field. Pitcher Nestor Cortez bounced back from his dreadful debut as he allowed just one hit over 6 innings pitched last night. Milwaukee's certainly trending up while Cincinnati continues to trend down. Fun fact, the Reds are just the second team in the live ball era going back to 1920 to lose 3 straight games 1-0. Well, maybe it'll be 4 after tonight's game. Yes, first pitch is set for 7:10 p.m. from AmFam Field. Lefty Tyler Alexander is listed to make his starting debut for the Brewers tonight. Then last night, Giannis Antetokounmpo continues to make history for the Bucks as he was the first player to ever put up 35 points, 17 rebounds, and a career-high 20 assists as the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Philadelphia 76ers 126-113 in Philly last night. The Bucks' 8th game without Dame Lillard, who could be returning sooner rather than later per Shams Charania, and some more positive updates from head coach Doc Rivers. Head over to ESPNWisconsin.com to read more.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or MetroKiaofMadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's Mer.
I'm the flower, it's Mer.
Mr. in honor of Molly Brown, and your nickname was?
Maladina Muffin Pie. Why are we not making Foo-Foo say Foo-Foo constantly?
It's kind of a roller coaster. Sports is a roller coaster.
Matt, let me ask you a question. Matt, let me ask you a question.
I can still
If you
really
asked me the
enjoy
name-
these weekends and not know anything about it.
Have an opinion. Isn't that what you like to say?
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Molly Brown.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Guys, if the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
Molly Brown hanging out with you alongside Matt Hamilton with Rai, our guy behind the glass. Or as Jacob on our YouTube stream says, Primetime Shime. I kind of like that. That's kind of fun.
Primetime Shime.
Primetime Shime is... that just sounds like a weird, like, discount superhero. I don't know.
It kind of sounds like a stage name.
No.
That should be your name when we do pole dancing later on in the show.
Primetime Shime.
Yeah. Oh, it's Primetime Shime. You know his voice that he does?
Yeah, oh yeah. And we're going pole dancing.
Have an opinion.
All right. Well, Rai feels uncomfortable.
You love it. Are you excited for Jim to come back so you don't have to deal with this nonsense?
Do you think it's gonna get better once Jim's back?
Yeah, possibly.
I guess I won't be as involved vocally on the show, so that would help. Yeah. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that as like a diss. Honestly, it's I prefer not to have to be the center of attention sometimes the way I have been the last few days on this show.
We have to get Jim's take on like all your credit card fiascos and your dating and all
Well,
that.
I'm sure he'll be more than happy to be updated once he's back.
Well, he might listen back.
Do you have? He was listening yesterday, and if you've missed any of the show this week, any of mine and Matt and Ryan making his appearances on our show, you can listen back to any of our episodes on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcast. I was gonna diss Ryan for a second, but I honestly couldn't remember what I was gonna say. You're lucky.
You're lucky.
Oh no, I was gonna diss you. I was gonna ask you, do you have any plans this weekend? Or can you afford to have any plans?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is your credit card allowing you to have any plans this weekend?
After last Friday, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, depends on if we go or if I go somewhere where I have gift cards or not. Perhaps then maybe I will have plans this weekend. Otherwise, it might have to be a little stingy, financially reasonable.
Hey, your friend might think that you're a little financially responsible. That's good.
Clearly, yeah, it's a good sign, right? For anyone who's trying to be friends with old Rai.
Exactly. The Adam and Madison says Primetime Shime goes right along with Night Stalker, Jack the Ripper,
etc., etc.
Yeah, something you see in newspaper clippings, probably. Yeah.
844-770-3776. That is the Cardinals Talking text line. List is more. Chime in with what you think Ryan's nickname should be.
Primetime is the nickname. It's been the nickname for like a year and a half.
Yeah, but now you've been called it so much, especially by Jim, that it's like, that's just your name.
Well,
now you need a nickname.
Now Primetime needs a nickname. Primetime. A nickname for Primetime.
Primetime Shime.
Primetime Shime can be the nickname at 5:40 every Friday. How about that? Right around the time of pole dancing.
Right at dusk.
Yeah. It's when my shift starts.
Anyways, we are asking you the question of who is the most successful athlete in Wisconsin sports history? Giannis, Rogers, or Favre. We've had quite a few people chiming in with other options because I don't know if you just don't like our options or if you just think that other people should be on this list.
We could have gotten to another era and other eras, but we thought we'd keep it tight.
Yeah, exactly.
Something that we actually witnessed was a big pre-qualifier.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So far on our poll question on the @ESPN Madison Twitter page, Giannis leads the pack at 36%, Favre at 35%, and Rogers at 29%. That one's actually surprising to me because I don't know where you guys would land on this, but I personally would vote for Rogers. And I did vote for Rogers on this poll because I just think if we're talking, and again, we're talking only on the court or the field, of their success and their achievements actually playing the sport. We're not taking into account anything that any of them have done outside, right? Like, right. I mean, Giannis would win that in a second, right? Like, we all know that. But
fair.
But to me, like, Rodgers has won MVPs. He's won a Super Bowl. He's always been in contention. There was
Super
only
Bowl MVP?
Yep, Super Bowl MVP. Like, there's only been a couple years where it's like, okay, the Packers they're not winning a Super Bowl, right? Like, but otherwise,
NFC Championship runner-up multiple times.
multiple times. God, he's the Patrick Mahomes of the NFC Championship
runner-up award.
That's terrible, but it's true though, right? Like, so to me, that's where I basically say that he's the most successful. What do you say?
I did vote for Rodgers as well, basically just because of the accolades, like you said, like physical. Here's a trophy, accolades, and like I think Giannis is probably the guy that I would give the most leeway to as far as just like a fan of a player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Rodgers just has the most accolades. And at the end of the day, accolades that you get like trophies for that are real are what you're remembered for. And like, not to take away anything from Giannis's like historic day, but this game that he just had is no one's gonna remember it until the next time someone breaks it.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
So like you're an MVP forever at some point. You know what I mean? Giannis has that. But Rodgers has 4 and Favre has 3. And one of those 3 was sharing it with Barry Sanders.
Ryan, where do you land on this poll? Are you voting Giannis, Rodgers, or Favre? Where do you kind of? I know that you wanted to put in Kareem, and I know you wanted to put in some other people, but if you had to choose out of the 3 that we put on our Twitter feed, where do you land?
I want to put Giannis because he still has runway left, whereas the other 2 guys don't, right?
Fair.
Whereas I think...
Isn't Rodgers a free agent right now?
Yeah. Is he going to play for, like a the Green Bay Blizzard? Will that add to his accolades?
Never know.
It's going to be Jordan Love's backup. Behind Malik Willis. He's going to be Malik Willis' backup.
Third stringer. That would be fun. I feel like I would want to say Giannis just because but it's tough. If I'm really going based off just like accolades, team accolades, and personal, it feels like Rodgers is probably the pick because he does have 4 MVPs. And yes, while he's only been to 1 Super Bowl, won the 1 Super Bowl, I mean, I do think there's something to postseason success and longevity. And in his era, I mean, for a long time, the conversation was about him or Tom Brady. And I mean, I know obviously he's nowhere near the level of Tom Brady at this point in their careers and their legacies, right? But to me, I just feel like Rodgers, and definitely biased from what I know. I wasn't around to watch Favre, similar to Molly. And Matt, you're the only one who can speak on that.
Yeah.
But I'd have to vote Rodgers, yeah. I'm conflicted, and I don't like voting for Rodgers, but yeah, I'd have to vote Rodgers.
Why don't you like voting for Rodgers?
I don't think anyone should like voting for Rodgers, and whether it's as a possible vice presidential candidate or in a poll question. I don't know. It's just there's a terrible taste in the mouth when it comes to Rodgers, and I don't think I'll ever feel that way about Giannis. It's tough because I don't feel great about the idea that Giannis will finish his career in Milwaukee. I don't think that'll end up happening. But I just feel like at least the way he goes out, it won't feel the same way. You know what I mean? It'll feel like it was a much more... I think there's going to be a much better argument that the team let him down more than he let the franchise down.
844-770-3776. That is your way into the show. We are asking you, who is the most successful athlete in Wisconsin sports history? Giannis, Rodgers, or Favre? You can go vote on our Twitter feed at ESPN Madison or chime in on the Carlos Talk and text line. Get your dialing fingers ready. Remember that number, 844-770-3776. ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Podcast is coming to Green Bay. On April 23rd, Field Yates, Daniel Dopp, Mike Clay, Liz Loza, and Stefania Bell are doing a live show at the Tundra Trio. ESPN Wisconsin wants to send you and a friend up to Green Bay to see the show happen live. Right now, caller number... What number? 3.
Matt wants 3.
Just because there are 3 options?
No, and Giannis set his historic NBA on the 3rd. Or we give him 35 because he scored 35 points.
I was going to say 34 because his number is 34.
What? Was it 17 rebounds?
Yeah. 17 rebounds.
20
assists. So we just add them all together?
Add them all together.
37 plus 35. What's that?
37.
72?
Caller
number 72?
That would be 72, yeah. How about we add 7 and 2 together, make it 9?
Okay.
Caller number 9.
All right, perfect. I love the numbers game. This is fantastic. Right now, caller number 9, 844-770-3776. You will win 2 tickets at ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Live at the Tundra Trio. See the show up close, meet all the hosts, and get complimentary food and drinks and Fantasy Focus Football podcast merch. That's caller number 9. Right now, 844-770-3776. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full details. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Let's hear from Jim as he tells us about his big blue truck from Simden Chevy.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. You've heard me talk about my big blue truck, my Silverado from Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. I've had multiple better buying experiences at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. And the weather is beautiful, so it's a great time to make the easy ride up to Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. But have that better buying experience. Go experience for yourself. A better buying experience means it's a custom buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
We don't speak about
Speak
her.
about rivals.
We are not rivals. Yeah, me and Kay are not on the same level in the same sense that Matt thinks that the Bears and the Packers aren't on the same level.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 4/30/2025.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at Zimbrick European. Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no one
undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Matt and Molly rolling on a Fish Friday. We are brought to you by Coors Light. Matt, if the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush. Coors Light. I'm going to crush a couple Coors Lights this weekend, I think.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's good. You
not,
get into
not physically, because I've got bottles.
Oh, you
so
could always go.
Crush. Yeah. On the forehead,
slam.
crush a bottle on my forehead, that wouldn't go well, I don't think. But Coors Light bottle is so good.
To me, it always just looks like, I don't know, like cold and, you know, like when it has like the, like, I don't know what you call this, but like the dewy, like, not dewy, but like
condensation?
Yeah, like condensation on the bottle.
I like to think like my beer's sweating.
Yeah.
It's got a little sweat on it. It's ready to drink. It's perfect.
I can't believe you didn't play the Dewey. You touched my butt, Dewey.
Oh, good point.
You just touched my butt, Dewey. I know your tricks, Dewey. Tight ends yesterday.
That was 2 days ago.
Was it?
I think.
No, it doesn't matter.
I think it was. Time now for Molly's game.
Hi. I am looking for Molly. I've been searching everywhere and I can't seem to find Molly.
This is Molly's Game, hosted by America's favorite bookie, Molly Brown.
So as I was going through the results from last week's picks that you guys had, I started to realize that these games just feel like they were 10 years ago because the two of the three
NCAA tournament games?
Yes, 2 of the 3 like questions that I gave you guys last week were NCAA games. So like now knowing that there's been so many games since then, it just feels a little bit like old, but it's okay. We can run through these really quick. So Auburn was taking on the Michigan Wolverines last week. They were favored by 9 points. I asked you guys your thoughts on that game. Matt was the only one to say that Auburn would cover, which they did.
War Eagle, right, Matt?
Oh, yeah. War Eagle, Tigers, Eagles, whatever. Yeah. Auburn, baby.
Go Bruce Pearl.
Pearls.
Yes.
Fighting Bruce Pearls.
Auburn did win, and they covered 78-65. Then the next one was Houston was taking on Purdue last week, Friday. And I asked you over under 134 total points in that matchup. It did end up being under. The final score was 62-60. Houston winning that one with a total.
With that fast-paced Houston Cougar team.
Yeah, exactly.
Who said
right?
that?
That was me.
That was you?
Yeah,
okay.
Oh, yeah. Man, defensive battle.
So it was a total of 122 points. Mm-hmm. And yes, Ryan was the only one that got that one correct, saying under. Also, their game against Tennessee last week was horrendous. Like, I think Tennessee ended up scoring, 53 points or something like that? It was awful.
Yeah.
An incredibly slow game. The shooting was horrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, they're not the most entertaining team, but they sure are effective. They grind teams into the dust.
Yeah, so we'll see. Whoa. Oh, okay. I'm like, Ryan doesn't like my song anymore. But anyways.
No, the system just doesn't like anything right now,
It's
unfortunately.
okay. It's okay. You deal with that. But then the Brewers had their home opener on Monday, and I was asking you if the Brewers won, and I want to know how many runs that they had. Not points, Matt. Runs. Jim said that the Brewers were going to win, and they would have 4. Matt, you said Brewers win 5, and Ryan said Brewers win with 3 runs. And woof, you guys were all wrong. The Brewers lost their home opener on Monday. We all know 11-1. So that's pretty brutal. But then your picks for today. First up, fun facts, guys. Only 1 seeds remain in the NCAA tournament. We all know that. But fun fact is that the last time that happened was in 2008, and it was in the same location in San Antonio, Texas. I thought that was pretty interesting. It would have been crazy if it was all the same teams too, but that didn't happen.
Right.
So I want to hear your guys' picks for each game. Florida versus Auburn. Florida is favored by 2.5 points. Matt, who wins and who covers?
Oh, man, that's close. Auburn is one of the oldest teams in the remaining teams. They're like, they've got a lot of chemistry. Florida looks electric, though. I'm going to say, and you said Florida's favored by 2.5?
Yep.
Let's say Florida wins, but they don't cover.
Okay.
So line is 2.5. Florida against Auburn.
I kind of think Auburn's going to win it, and I kind of need them to win it for my bracket. But
I think Florida's got it. Florida looks like a wagon when everything's going right for them.
A wagon.
They do. They are, dude. They're chomping through teams. I'll take Florida to cover 2.5.
Okay.
When you say that, like, can you give me some context?
What do you mean context?
Like wagon.
Wagon, like when they are running up and down the court and Elijah Martin's slamming dunks and they have Will Clayton Jr. stepping back for like ice cold threes at the end of games. They just feel like they have all the pieces and all the players they need to take on anyone. And
no, I get that. The wagon thing, I'm more.
Oh,
like a dog wagging their tail, or
like a
wagon
powerhouse, like
attached to a horse.
A wagon attached to a horse, yes.
Or whatever.
Yeah, a bandwagon. It's like a band you want to get on the bandwagon because they are a bandwagon.
I just thought you thought they were like just looked like they're really happy and they're wagging their tails.
You've never heard the phrase like they look like a wagon right now?
No.
Oh.
I could put it together from like context clues, but I was honestly thinking like a red radio flyer wagon.
Yeah, that's the wagon I think of too. The one when Matt said attached to a horse, that's such like an old. I mean, you really are. Like
I played
80.
Oregon Trail as a kid.
There's Amish people though. Amish people still use
I was
wagons.
thinking like the
that's
Oregon
like a wagon.
Trail one, like circle the wagon.
Oh, or is that a?
That's a wagon.
A buggy.
That's a buggy.
That's a wagon. But how often do you see in your everyday life an Amish
Actually,
wagon?
like.
She's got to drive up north, man.
Quite often. Not okay.
Not up north.
Like every time that like you go to the like if you go to like the bigger grocery store or like the hardware store, they're like always there.
I don't know what grocery stores you're going to.
Not with like the buggy because they have to get a ride from somebody. But
they're
like
Clydesdales at your grocery store, just with Amish people.
No. They have to get a ride from people. Like they pay people to like drive in their car. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They frequent places. Yeah, up by our friends in Beaver Dam at ESPN Beaver Dam. I bet you all those people have seen a lot of Amish people.
Yeah.
Well, I bet if the Amish played in the NCAA tournament, they'd be a wagon too. If the Amish had a team.
You might be right.
Yeah.
Maybe. Next one here, guys. Houston versus Duke. Duke is favored by 5 points. Ryan?
I can't pick against Duke at this point. I mean, anytime I think that they might have a slight weakness, like I said Florida looks like a wagon. Like, I mean,
now these guys are a wagon.
No,
they're
more.
A wagon.
They're more than that. They're more than that. Honestly, they look like the best college basketball team I might have ever seen. Like Con Knippel, the Wisconsin kid from Wisconsin Lutheran. I mean, he's a stud. And then Cooper Flagg he's Cooper Flagg. I mean, there's an obvious reason he's gonna be the number 1 overall pick. Like. And then everyone else on their team, it just feels like is like a perfect ancillary piece. The guy who they have who just alley-oops and dunks everything, the 7'2" guy, Malawak, I think his name is. I mean, they are loaded, dude. Like I don't see any team taking them down. And Houston is a team that always comes up short in the Final Four. I can't see him taking down Duke.
So how many, what do you think that is it going to be a double-digit game? Do you think it's going to be a massive win? What do you think?
Yeah, they cover
Does
in the
Houston
5?
cover?
They're covering the 5. But do they win double digits?
Yeah, would you take 10? If it was 9.5.
No,
Ooh,
not if
good
that was a
question.
spread. But no, if you were giving me better odds, like if it was plus 200 odds to cover 10, then yes.
No.
Just 50-50 odds?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Interesting.
Matt?
You know what? I'm going to bet with my heart here. I'm going to take Houston and
the fast-paced Cougs.
So obviously they'll cover. They're so dynamic.
Yeah. Kelvin Sampson seems.
Maybe if they slow Duke down enough. Like, there is something to be said about rhythm, but
Is anyone slowing down Cooper Flag right now? And who can? How? That would be my question.
I mean, get him in foul trouble.
That's the best way to do it.
That's
especially
the
in
only
college.
way you're going to be able to get him up, out of your hair for a little bit.
Yeah.
Two more here, guys. Let's get through these a little bit quick. It's also the women's Final Four with both games tipping off tonight.
Yep.
Almost all 1 seeds in this Final Four as well, which is interesting. UConn is the only 2 seed. So Texas versus South Carolina. South Carolina's favored by 5.5. Matt, what do you think?
It's South Carolina.
I see.
I always get thrown off when people say, when people call it
USC?
yes. I hate it.
Yeah.
They're not USC. They're South Carolina. You know what I mean?
It was a bad moment, I think, in the NCAA tournament, the men's tournament. What was it, 4 or 5 years ago, where they sent the invite or told the team that the wrong USC, that they made it into the field of 64. They sent it to.
That's horrible.
They sent it to the South Carolina Gamecocks when they meant to send it to the USC Trojans, I think. I can't remember when that was, but you said it was USC. You said South Carolina's taking on who?
Texas.
I'm not picking against South Carolina.
Alrighty. Next one here, guys. UConn versus UCLA. UConn is favored by 8.5. That one surprises me. But that might also be because I have UCLA winning my entire women's bracket. So
I'll take UCLA because go Big Ten. Matt?
No, that sounds weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It will never not be weird.
I think UConn, and they'll cover.
Big
All right.
Paige Beckers fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure are.
What color hair does she have?
Blonde.
Lucky guess.
Yeah, really.
Very lucky
He
guess.
only said that because you're blonde. Otherwise, whatever. Everyone in that room right now, including Chrissy Birdsall, our digital producer, just 3 blondes. Matt Hamilton, if he had picked against it, it would have been a bold pick.
Yeah. Just going with the numbers.
Yep.
Hey, all you sports bettors, if you aren't making your wagers at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you're missing out on an elite experience. Honestly, it's complete sports betting paradise. The state-of-the-art venue has dozens of self-service betting kiosks, seating for over 200 people, a first-class bar and restaurant, VIP deck, and a broadcast booth, which we're big fans of. If that isn't enough for you, there's a giant video wall that's over 2,000 square feet, and man, is it beautiful there. I saw it last weekend when I was there for Thanalysis. Gorgeous. If you're short on time, they have free 20-minute reserve structure parking, and in a major move for all sports bettors out there, you can now use your Potawatomi rewards card at most self-service kiosks and the betting counter. Bet on your favorite sports and earn rewards points along the way. Now that's a winning play. Bet above the rest. Learn more at paysbig.com/sportsbook. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We go pole dancing next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Could you imagine if I had to pretend to be somebody different than I am? I would have to be oh, I love my husband all the time. That would be awful. That would be horrible.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
God.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This station has conducted a test of the emergency alert system.
Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all.
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 Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck & Honey's. Make your Easter celebration one to remember. Spring into this holiday season at Buck & Honey's. Their award-winning restaurant offering seasonal dishes, handcrafted cocktails, and exceptional service. As you gather with loved ones this spring, don't forget to plan ahead for Mother's Day. Treat mom to an unforgettable meal in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Celebrate great food and great company this Easter and Mother's Day. Make your reservation today at their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb. We'll see you at Buck & Honey's.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe in making the most of what you love, making sure your money is as well spent as your time. So as you start your spring projects, we have the value you need to make them your own. Right now, Rewards members get a free $10 gift card with an $80 estate fertilizer purchase, 10% off our entire assortment of quality sump pumps, and save 20% on all Gardner Bender electrical tools and supplies. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
As a fellow military veteran, I relied on my team to get through very difficult missions. We had each other's back and supported our teammates through thick and thin. If you find yourself struggling to make it another day or know someone who is, reach out. Support is at reachoutwis.org.
Paid for by Advancing a Healthier Wisconsin Endowment with support by the Medical College of Wisconsin, the War Memorial Center, and reachoutwis.org.
Get ready, Madison. The Packers Tailgate Tour rolls back into town on Wednesday, April 9th. Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Join us in supporting Dairyland Sports, a Madison-based nonprofit improving access to sports, fitness, and recreation for individuals with physical disabilities in Wisconsin. Learn more and support the cause at dairylandsports.org/Packers Tailgate. And stay tuned to ESPN Madison for your chance to win VIP tickets to the Packers Tailgate Tour. Sponsored by Visit Verona, Paul's Party, and ESPN Madison.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light, 844-770-3776. That is how you get into the show. We did have a YouTube comment for you, Prime. This one should make you feel good. Joseph says, Chime In with Shime should be a show segment.
Chime In with Shime?
Chime In with Shime. Can be a show segment.
Chime In with Shime. Is that something caller related? It has a good ring to it, which makes me once again think it should be calling related.
Chime in with Shime on a carbless talking text line.
There we go.
Now we're just becoming rappers at this point. But
rappers.
It's your time to shine.
It's your time to shine, Prime. With pole dancing. Let's go, Rai.
We asked and you answered.
What?
Coming to the stage, it's pole dancing on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Hey now,
Presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, it's time for some prime time chime here on a Fish Friday. That means we look around the polls from ESPN Wisconsin this past week, and Matt and Molly will be today's respondents, giving their answers to these poll questions from around the state. So, guys, the first one I want to ask you, this was Wilde and Tausch's preemptive poll for Thursday's show that I don't believe they ever got to because Tausch annoyed Jason too much. They asked, a preemptive poll for today's show, how many 2025 starters, players who will start 8+ games as a rookie, does Packers GM Brian Gutekunst need to select in this year's NFL draft in Green Bay? 0, 1, 2, or 3+? Matt Hamilton, what do you say? How many starters, instant impact starters, does Goody need to draft this April?
I mean, at minimum 1. I think I want to say 2, but at minimum 1. We better get a cornerback that's gonna play.
Ooh, okay, all right. So I like that too. You give me the specific position that they need too.
I'm gonna stick with the 1 because I think there's guys that are ahead that we can move up. I'm not gonna throw out a wide receiver quite yet. I don't have faith in the Packers to go get a wide receiver before the 4th round.
So you think minimum requirement is they get 1 starting level cornerback in this draft?
Yeah.
All right, and then for you to be happy, what would they need?
2 starters. And again, it could be anywhere. Definitely a corner, and then I'll let you
fill in the blanks.
Goody, Goody, you get all these bites at the apple. Like, I hope you hit 2.
If you had to pick a second position as a starter,
a wide receiver.
Wide receiver?
Or an edge rusher. Those are the 2 that I really would like to see.
Okay. All right, Molly, what do you say? 0, 1, 2, or 3+?
I mean, 3+ would be fantastic, but that's not happening. I say 2. And I would go cornerback and then a pass rusher.
Yeah, I think I'd go right there with you too.
Both on defense.
Based off the respondents from 306 votes, 60% said 2 starters, 17% said 3+, 16% said 1, 7% of Brian Gutekunst's Green Bay Packer backers saying they don't need to draft any immediate starters in this year's draft. I don't know what they're thinking. Not 7%.
Do they think they didn't need to, or Goody won't be able to?
How many 2025 starters, players who start 8+ games as a rookie, does Packers GM Brian Gutekunst need to select?
Ah, okay.
So you don't feel like he needs to select any, apparently.
Fair enough. You're right.
All right. And then the last one I'll give to you today, guys. 2 days ago, those guys over there at Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, our sister show over there at ESPN Milwaukee, will the Packers have a 1,000-yard pass catcher in 2025? This is on the day that everyone else was catching up to Matt's take about Tucker Kraft being the guy for the Green Bay Packers. Seems like everyone was interested in pass catchers and maybe whether Tucker Kraft could be that guy. Molly, do you think the Packers will have a 1,000-yard receiver, pass catcher, wide receiver, or tight end in 2025?
You know what? I'm going to say yes, because I think it's going to be Jaden Reed. Last year he had 857, and I feel like last year wasn't even that great of a year for him, especially compared to the year before. I don't even know what his stats were the year before, but it just felt like he did so much better in 2023 versus 2024.
Interesting.
I do. But I also believe that I heard Wilde say that they're moving away from having him do like jet sweeps. So
yeah, Matt LaFleur did say they were talking about how much they're giving the ball to Josh Jacobs, and he also mentioned that he might try to peel back on the number of handoffs he gives to guys like Jaden Reed.
Yeah, so that's interesting. But I will say that Jaden Reed will have a 1,000-yard season. Knock on wood.
Okay. Matt Hamilton?
Mecole Hardman?
Yeah.
Yeah. None of them.
No
one's going to have 1,000. I think it's going to be pretty well spread out. I think you're going to have a couple guys over 800, including Tucker Kraft, including Jaden Reed. But I don't know if anyone's going to crack 1,000. Romeo Doubs will be in that 800.
So everyone's just getting 800 received?
Yeah, in that ballpark, yeah.
What is Tucker Kraft getting? Is he getting 800 too?
Yep.
If he gets 800 as a tight end,
that's wild.
That would be pretty dang good.
There would be.
Yeah.
There would be.
By the way, you asked about Jaden Reed's stats before, Molly.
Yeah, what were his stats in 2023?
Almost identical in 2023, except he had 94 targets, 64 catches, 793 yards. 2024, he did a little more because he was just more explosive. He only had 75 targets, so he wasn't as featured, but he also had 55 catches for 857 yards, so his yards per reception went up by 3.
Interesting.
Yeah, so fewer touchdowns, though.
Fewer touchdowns, yeah, but I mean, there were a lot of
He rushed more last year, though, too. He got an extra 45 yards, 44 yards rushing.
He was Jordan Love's favorite effort. He up there, or effort, I'll throw it up, and he's down there somewhere.
True.
Player.
Very true.
Effort.
Okay,
Primetime
Ryan.
Shime, or what is your nickname?
You just said it.
Primetime Shime, right?
Yeah, we'll go with Primetime Shime.
Yeah, Joseph on the YouTube stream. Remember, you can always stream us on YouTube. He says, there you go. Chime in with Shime on the Carbless Talkin' text line. That is the official segment that we should do with you. But I don't know how we differentiate it from... I don't know how we make it like actually a segment versus like, okay, just call and text into the Carbless Talkin' text line.
Maybe I just take callers and I talk to them during the segment and then just chat.
Is that all that you want to do?
Yeah, you just chit-chat with Ryan.
Yeah, you just get to talk to Primetime Shime during the show.
There you go. There you go. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Let's hear from Jim as he tells us about Chalmers Jewelers.
Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton is Madison's custom jeweler. They are Madison's family-owned jeweler. Whether you go to the Madison or Middleton location, you're going to run into either Garrett, Devin, Ruth, or Scott Chalmers, and you're going to have an opportunity to work with one of their great custom jewelers. So if you're looking for a custom piece of jewelry and you want to make sure it's the best in the area, go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You can take the boy out of North Carolina, but you can't take the North Carolina out of the boy. I like me some Bulldogs up here on the Packers.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 100.5 ESPN.
Lillard's going to tee up a three, and he splashes it through for the left wing.
Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the Milwaukee Bucks.
The Bucks rallied past an undermanned Philadelphia 76ers squad for a 126-113 win in the city of brotherly love. Milwaukee came back from a 17-point first-quarter deficit, outscoring the Sixers 101-74 the remainder of the game. All 5 starters scored in double figures.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 100.5 ESPN.
Lillard's going to tee up a three, and he splashes it through for the left wing.
Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the Milwaukee Bucks.
The Bucks rallied past an undermanned Philadelphia 76ers squad for a 126-113 win in the city of brotherly love. Milwaukee came back from a 17-point first-quarter deficit, outscoring the Sixers 101-74 the remainder of the game. All 5 starters scored in double figures for the Deer, including a monster performance from Giannis as he led the way with his 8th triple-double of the season and 53rd of his career. The Greek Freak finished with 35 points, a career-high 20 assists, and 17 rebounds.
Giannis on the left wing. He's driving to the baseline, left-hand dunk by Giannis.
The 42-34 Bucks continue their 3-game road trip Saturday night when they visit the Miami Heat.
This has been your Milwaukee Basketball Report on Madison's home for Bucks basketball, 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
Hey football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities. Plus, membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
They dance above me as I sing. I see them through a crystal haze and hear their sweet sound bouncing round the never-ending choral maze. The crystal haze and hear them bouncing round the room.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. We are asking you the question, or we did ask you the question today. Who is the most successful Wisconsin athlete? Your choices were Favre, Rodgers, or Giannis. Taking a look at our Citing Unlimited poll question on our Twitter page at ESPN Madison. Brett Favre leads the pack right now with 183 votes in. He leads it at 40%, Giannis at 32%, and Rodgers at 28%. Are you surprised?
I'm a little bit. I'm a little surprised that Favre's in the lead. Man, I don't know. I should be surprised. Rodgers should have this, but people still vote with their heart, even though we're telling them not to vote about, like, off the field. Like, We're talking about just success as an athlete. Like, I don't even know if it's really that debatable, right? Like I'm saying, there's trophies for these kind of things. Rodgers has the biggest trophy case right now. Giannis still has some runway, but in Milwaukee, who knows how long. And Favre's done it. Favre doesn't have more. So like it doesn't make sense. He didn't even get the Super Bowl MVP. I think that went to like Desmond Howard for the kick return and his stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah, you were not even born yet.
We were little tykes. Wait, what year was that? 1986?
6, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't even born. Yeah. And you weren't born then. The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend. Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks. Plus, Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Hear from the biggest names in basketball and get your questions answered. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts. Jim Rutledge is back next week. Are we all excited?
Judgmental
You're
Jim.
excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I think we all kind of
Jim.
miss Jim. I'm not going to lie.
It's nice to have a driver.
So you can tell.
Excuse me. Should I be offended? You don't got to hype Jim up and tear me down. My goodness. I'm excited for Jim to be back. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Have a great weekend.
See ya.